Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to everyone, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me introduce myself first. My name is Rosfaliza Mustapha, and I'm from SMK Sungai Pusu, which is in Gombak. Okay, and I'm teaching English for Form 3. It has been 13 years. I'm teaching for 13 years now, and when we talk about the community of teachers in my area, all right, as Puan Shamala said just now, yes, we are from Smart School. So most of the teachers there are using ICT, all right, for teaching. And if you come to our school, okay, I'm not going to say about the ICT tools and all the equipments that we have in our school, but it's just a basic thing that we can see in our school, where it is one of the evidences that show that most of the teachers are into the 21st LCD. CLD, I'm sorry. Okay, so if you come to our school, you can see most of the classes, the seating arrangement is not like it used to be, where it is, during those times, we usually use, the students we put into rows, all right, 2 by 2. But nowadays, if you look in our school, all right, they are put in groups, all right, the seating arrangements has been changed, all right. So this is one of the evidences or proofs that shows that, yes, our school, teachers in my school, mostly they use the concept of CLD, 21st CLD is there, all right. So let me describe my learning activity. Yes. So I'm teaching Form 3, all right? So Puan Shamala has said just now that literature component is quite difficult for our students to, they're not that interested in learning literature, because maybe it seems that the language is not that up to their level, all right? Maybe the language is quite high for them, because 99% students from my school are Malay students. So it's quite difficult for them, to get interested in learning English, especially literature. So what I did is, the subject that I'm teaching is, the topic is how I met myself. It is a Form 3 literature component. All right, so why I choose, to integrate all the 21st century skills, CLD, in my lesson, because I think it is my responsibility as a teacher to make them interested, to make my students interested in my learning. Meaning, I have to do something. I think I have to do something to at least to optimize their involvement in their own teaching, in their own learning, So I want to put the ideas that they are responsible for their own learning. So that's why I put, I think the whole lesson, the whole activities from the 3 stages that I put. So I think they are full of the 21st century, the CLD, 21st CLD. All right, so can we go to the first stage? Okay, So there are 3 stages. I've put my lesson into 3 stages. The first one, which is the introduction part, the set induction. So the set induction is where I gave the students pictures. All right, so that is where I want the students to, I want the students to construct their knowledge. All right, I give pictures like there are two persons with same appearance, with same features. All right, so if okay, before that, let me introduce first the story. This story is quite difficult to understand. It's quite complicated. It's about a doppelganger. A doppelganger is a double ghost. It's where there are two persons who have the same features, same face. All right. So what I want is the students to express themselves. Yeah. Try to give what they feel and what they think when they look at these two people with same features. All right. So I just try to relate them. Try to get them to relate the story to themselves. So I just put two people with same features, and I ask them, okay, what do you feel if you come across someone who is look exactly the same like you? All right. So it is mainly basically I'll give them open-ended questions. All right. Open-ended question means that they can answer. There are so many options of answering the questions. So it doesn't have, the answer, there's no right or wrong with the answers. So they can simply give any answers, all right, as long as they can express themselves and try to give their opinions of the pictures, all right. So this is where the knowledge construction in this activity. All right, so for the second stage will be the learning development. Learning development, okay. The skills that I'm using is use the ICT for learning and also the collaboration. Okay, in this stage, there are a few activities that I carried out, all right. So one of them, okay, besides they have to read the story, all right, the novel. I also gave them worksheets, quizzes, all right, and also I asked them to do some role plays in class, all right. So that is, normal activities that we usually do in class. So there are one more activity that I think that it is very useful to them, which is it is outside the classroom, not only inside the classroom. So after the school, they can, I can assess them, their knowledge, their understanding of the story, where I post, I created a Facebook, a group Facebook, all right, and I added all of my students, all right, in the group, and then I will post a few statuses, all right. So mainly is about the themes, maybe the plot, or the characters, or the values of the story. I just posted, okay, for example, I'll give the first line of the story, which is John Taylor was walking home from work. All right, John Taylor was walking home from work, and then that's the only line that I posted. And then what they have to do is they have to continue my story. All right, so each student may put or may include one or two lines. All right, so they have to continue the story, and then I can assess their understanding from there. All right, it's not only on the plot, but only maybe on the themes, values, and also all the literary devices that they are learning. Okay, so I just want to put some ideas in their mind that learning process not only in classroom, but also it can be outside of the classroom. All right, so they can access, because I find most of my students, I think everyone has Facebook account. So I think that is the best tool, for my students, especially my students, to learn. Yeah, to learn something, meaning they can learn not only in formal way, but in an informal way, not only in classroom, but also outside of the classroom. All right, so it can be anywhere and anyhow. That is the point or the rationale that I want to put, ideas that I want to put into my students' mind. Okay, so that one is for the for the learning. For the second stage, the third stage would be the outcome. or the impact. Okay, for this one, I've collaborated, I have integrated 5 skills, all right? 5 skills, which is collaboration, real-world problem solving, the use of the ICT for learning, knowledge construction, and skilled communication. All right. So this is the outcome, or where I say the climax of my learning process, teaching and learning process. All right. So for this one, I just asked the students. I give some brief instructions. Instructions whereby I just ask them to produce a video, a folio, and also a poster. All right. So what they do is they have to divide themselves into groups, not me. They have to divide themselves into groups based on their interests and based on their abilities. All right. So they have the freedom to choose. They have the freedom to choose which category or which, the outcome that they want to choose. All right, whether it is a folio, whether it is a video, all right, a trailer, or it is a poster. All right. So I just gave them the brief instruction. That's it. So they have to use their own creativity. They have to use their own. They have to think by themselves how and which tool is the best, which tool is best for them, which tool is best for them to use for the right activities, for the right activities. All right. So of course they have come up with amazing outcome. All right. So they used video Windows Video Maker for a trailer, for the trailer. They've used Microsoft PowerPoint for the folio. All right, and also the poster. All right. So poster basically. All right. Okay. So they have produced a few things. All right, because there are few groups, all right, because they have divided themselves into groups. So this is one of the folios that they did, all right. I have few actually, but this is one of them. This is some sort of a PowerPoint, but I call them as folio. So they just for the characters and characteristic, they just put their own face. They just put their photos, their own photos for the characters. So I think this is very personalized. Yeah, where you call that as a personalized learning. Okay, when we say about the students' reaction and how they react, okay, when I ask them to do this project, all right, they seem so excited and ecstatic, all right, because before this, the teacher gave them the task, the instructions, so meaning in this project, I've given them choices to do how and how they want to do it. They have to think by themselves. All right. So that is where problem solving, for the real world problem solving takes place. All right. So they have to think by themselves on how they must do this. All right. Especially for the video, I just asked them, okay, just do a video, just do a trailer for 3 or 5 minutes, and they just come up with this. Okay, so I think that's it from me. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions? Okay, Datin.
Okay, first of all, thank you and congratulations. You mentioned that you gave students the flexibility in deciding which group and activities they'd like to go to. How do you manage a situation where most of the students would go to one or two groups and that there are no students in the other group? So how do you manage that situation?
Fortunately, I didn't face that kind of problem. All right, they are equally balanced. I mean, yes. So
what if in the
okay.
future? I mean, you know, it's not always the case, right?
Yeah.
What if you are faced with that situation? So how would you manage that situation?
I think I'm still with my stand, meaning I just give them freedom to choose whatever that they want. So it doesn't matter whether there are only few students in one group and many students in another group.
So groups don't have any students at all. That's my point.
Oh, okay.
So what would you do?
All right. So for I think what would I do? Okay, what will I do? So I think, to be fair, I just stick to my stand because because what I believe is I have to respect whatever that decision, whatever the decision that they give to me. I mean, the decision that they have decided. All right, because it is my aim and goal is I want them to believe, yeah, for themselves, believe for themselves whatever that they believe that they want it. Because it is more on multiple intelligences. Because I want to see that they do this project based on their abilities and also their interests. So I don't think that I have to force them to be in the place that they don't want it to be. So I think that's it.